วัสดีครับอาจารย์ครับก่อนนะครับ
Greetings to everybody. Welcome to another Zoom meeting where we discuss the Dhamma teaching of the Buddha regarding the practices of charity, morality, and meditation. We will start with our first participant, which is Felicia Chan from Malaysia. Thank you for your donation.
Thank you, Ajaan. Good evening, Ajaan. Today I don't have question. My meditation progress is good. Thank you for your Dhamma teaching.
You're welcome. I'll go to your friend Willie first. Willie from Indonesia.
Good evening, Ajaan. Today I don't have any questions. Thank you.
Next, Nandapat from Wanachthani.
นมัสการค่ะท่านอาจารย์ I don't have any question tonight ค่ะ
Okay, Kok Singh from Singapore.
Ajaan, tonight I have no questions. Thank you, Ajaan.
Kao Phai Lim from Malaysia.
Good day to you, Ajaan. I have no question today, just listening in. Thank you.
Okay, Kenneth, Professor from Switzerland.
Good afternoon, Ajaan. I also have no questions at the moment.
Okay, go to Belinda, Singapore.
Hello, Ajaan. Me too have no questions at the moment. Thank you.
All right, someone will have to have a question pretty soon. I also will end this meeting pretty quickly. Okay, Gary from Singapore.
Good evening, Ajaan. Can you hear me, Ajaan?
Yes.
Ajaan, I just want to out of curiosity, because I read a word in a Dhamma book. It's called Tathata. It's Tathata. The meaning is suchness, which is quite profound. I think. Could Ajaan enlighten us about the word?
It is what it is. That's what
it is. Just what it is.
Yeah. we try to figure out what it is when in fact we don't have to. We just take it as it is.
I see. Okay.
Everything is as it is. You, me, everything is. We are as it is.
Okay.
And if we can take it as it is, then there shouldn't be any problem, right?
Yeah. Okay.
The problem is we want to make it into something we want it to be. We like, So we keep questioning why it is not what we like. That's because it is what it is.
I see.
When people die, they ask, why? When something terrible happened, you keep asking why? Instead of saying that this is the way it is. It is.
I see. So we just accept
Yeah, things happen.
accept things at ease.
Yeah, things happen. Then there will be no dukkha if we can accept things as they are.
It's just like what Tanajan always teaches, do not
Yeah.
expect,
Take
no
things as they
expectation.
come. Take
Yeah.
things as they come. Hope for the best, expect the worst. You don't know what you're gonna get. Somebody said one time, it's like a box of chocolate.
Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump.
Oh, Forrest Gump.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
You take life as a box of chocolate. You take whatever you get,
Mm.
Okay. Next, Johanna from Indonesia. I cannot hear you tonight for some reason. You didn't turn on your microphone when you came in. I think you might have to go out and come back in again. Your microphone is not working. By the way, last Sunday I missed the Q&A meeting because of my internet connection was interrupted. The cable was bitten by some animal, whether it's monkey or squirrel, I'm not sure, but so I had no signal for about one day. And the next day the operator came and fixed it. So I'm back to normal now. So sorry about that. Things happen, Okay, next. Can you speak now, Johanna? I think you have to leave the room and come back in again, and then it asks you to click on using computer microphone. I think that's what you missed. Next, Philip and Adeline from Malaysia.
Good evening, Ajaan. Just listening. I don't have question at the moment.
Okay, York Bay from New York. Are you back in New York now, or are you still in Asia?
With me, Prajan. Yeah, I'm New York now. Yeah, it's New York is very busy, and I'm working 5 days, and also I take my 2 days off. I keep the 8% for my daily. I'm feel happy.
Good. Just do meditation also if you can.
Thank you. Yeah.
Mindfulness and meditation. Gavin from Bangkok now, right?
Hello, John. Yeah, I have no questions this evening. Thank you.
Okay. Alvin Lee from Malaysia.
Tanajan, good afternoon. I don't have any question, but my daughter has got a question. Just 1 second.
Hello, what's your name?
Hi. Then may I ask whether when you simply think, will it create bad karma?
What happened when you create bad karma?
When you sleepy.
Can you repeat your question again?
When we simply think. Simply think.
I don't understand what you say. Alvin, can you
Or
translate?
when I think of nonsense.
Nonsense is not productive. It's not good karma, but it's not bad karma, but it's neutral karma. On the side of bad karma, but not yet very bad, but useless karma, let's call it. So don't speak nonsense. Try to speak things with knowledge. So you can share knowledge with other people. People can learn from what you tell them.
And is when we do walking meditation, is it okay when we count our steps?
Yes, you can use counting if you like. The point is not to think about any other thing, okay? All right.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay. Next, Diana from Wales, I think if I remember correctly. When Swansea,
Push the button. Okay,
oh, she's gone.
okay.
No, I'm not. Sorry.
All right.
I was in to make a mess. Greetings. Yes, bit near the sea. I live near the sea
I see.
in Wales. Yes. I have one question, Tanajan. When people we love have a disagreement, is there anything we should do, or do we just have to let them be?
Yes, you have to let them be, because everyone has their own opinion, and it's not good to try to convince or force other people to see the same way you see things. Unless they're willing to learn and they ask for your opinion, then you can tell them. But if anytime we have agreement, the best thing is just to stop discussing the things that we disagree, because it will end up in in fight or something.
Yes,
So
thank
try to talk about things that you can agree on, and try to avoid talking about things you cannot agree on.
Yes, it's just painful, isn't it, when people you love fall out with each other?
Well, that's because it's painful because you want them not to fall out. But if you understand that this is their karma, they have their own karma, and so the karma is giving them what they produce. But they can always change later on. Eventually, someday they might see the light and change their opinion.
Yes, it's lessons, isn't it? We have to learn lessons and
That's right.
make it ready.
Someone has said that you don't see the coffin, you don't shed tears when you don't see the coffin.
Life is short.
Yeah. So you just have to let it be, let people be. Our goal is to keep our mind calm and pleasant, not annoyed or not feeling sad or bad about anything. Because that's the way things are. Everything has their own way of being.
Yeah, and that might help them in the long run, isn't it, if we're calm?
Yeah. Sometimes they have to take time to learn things. Some people never learn, some people do. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Looks like all the people with the video on it's gone. All the people are having not turned their video on.
Monica.
No camera. Who?
Monica.
Monica?
Yes.
Okay, Monica. Sorry.
Good evening, Tanajan. Greetings.
Yes, can I help you?
Yeah. Actually, recently I read a sutta which mentioned about this 180 types of feelings. I think it's the Atta Satta Sutta. Is it advisable to learn about this type before we actually contemplate on feelings?
Just know the three principal feelings: good, bad, and neutral feelings. And the goal is not to react to any of them, just to be merely knowing. Good feeling, just know that good feeling arises. Bad feeling, just know that bad feeling arises. Neutral feeling, just know that it arises. Know that it is anatta. You cannot force them to go away or to remain. And they are anicca. When it's time for them to change, they will change. But it's not yet time for them to change. You cannot force them to change. So your goal is just to learn to live with them as they come.
Okay. So just keep it simple, right?
Yeah, why make it difficult?
Yeah. Okay. So by the way, how are your feet? They are okay already now?
They're improving. That's minimal, slowly, but seems to be improving. But I mean, it doesn't interfere with my movement. I can do things normally. All right.
Okay.
Thank you for your concern.
I hope you will recover speedily.
Well, you never know, what's gonna happen, right? You either get well or you get worse, or you remain the same. There's three possibilities in everything we do: either getting better or getting worse, or not getting better or not getting worse.
Yeah. That is a fact of life.
Yeah, that creates the three feelings: good feeling, bad feeling, and neutral feeling. When things turns better, you get good feeling. When things turns bad, you get bad feeling. When things don't change, you have neutral feeling. But you can rise above all these things because you can put your mind in a place where it doesn't have to be affected by these things. Get the mind inside into ubeka, and whatever happens doesn't affect the mind. Good or bad or neutral things happen. The mind understand and leave them alone. Don't react to them. Don't react with good feelings. Don't react with bad feelings. Don't react with neutral feelings. Just merely knowing. React with rationality. Okay?
Yes. Thank you, Tanajan.
Johanna, come back again. See if you can turn on your microphone and speak. Maybe are you using your headphone? Can you unplug it? Okay. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, can hear you now. Okay.
Tanajan, I have a question. In your book, you ever mentioned that when Tanajan read the master's books, like Ajahn Mahabharata, it's like listening to him teaching. So Tanajan, for us who are still learning to learn Dhamma from the masters by reading their books, what should we do in order to perceive their teaching correctly, as the experience must be different from hearing the masters talking directly to us? Like, for instance, Ajahn Man, Ajahn Mahabharata, especially about their meditation methods.
Well, the teaching is actually recorded from what they said. So when you read them, it's just like reliving the speech. But the important is not that they seem to be talking to you. But the important is to understand what they try to teach you, the essence of the teaching, so that you can use it and apply in your practice. So read it and try to get a good understanding what the teacher is trying to tell you. Usually mindfulness, and then wisdom, panya, mindfulness, sati, and panya, and viriya, exertion. These are what you need to get to where you wanted to go. You need mindfulness, you need exertion. You have to exert in mindfulness, exert in samadhi, exert in panya. Then the magga phala nibbana will be the result. So just read, and don't if you can understand what you're reading, then you feel like you are sitting in front of the master talking to you directly.
Yeah, because sometimes the meaning can be different when you read it the first time and the second time and the third time.
Possible, because your understanding can improve. So the meaning might change from what you first started to learn. But don't read too much, really. Just read enough to know what you have to do. Know the 5 precepts, the 8th precept. Know how to practice mindfulness. Know how to meditate, how to sit. And know what the wisdom is about. It's about the 3 characteristics of existence. That's about all you need to know in the practice.
Okay, Thanajan, thank you for your explanation.
Okay. Next, Ubeka from Brazil, Alfredo. Is it winter for you now? Getting colder, huh?
What Bante? Yes, a little colder.
So, your tooth okay now?
What?
Your toothache.
Yesterday my dentist not do a surgery. He tell me to do next week.
Next week.
Yes, a surgery on teeth.
Okay.
Yesterday is a big moon.
Visakha Bhucha.
Visakha
Bhucha. The day of the Buddha. The day of his birth, his enlightenment, and his passing away.
Yes. Very good, very, very good memories.
Yeah. It's good to think of the Buddha, because by thinking about him, you think about his teaching, his example.
Yes, Buddha Nusach.
Then you want to imitate what he does, what he did, and be like him.
Yes.
He's gone from home to homelessness. This is what we have to do eventually. We have to go from home to homelessness. Because home is like a prison. It keeps us in samsara. When you're homeless, then you're getting out of samsara. Because you leave everything behind. You have no possession to worry about. Just have enough just to exist, just enough for existing.
Yes, the remember of Buddha's life is very good to understand the Dhamma, Bante.
That's right. It's good to study his life story, from being a prince, with all the trappings of wealth and richness, and to become a beggar, a homeless man, seeking salvation, seeking liberation from dukkha.
Yes.
We all have to do the same thing. We all have to do the same thing. If you want to achieve what he did achieve, we have to start practicing homelessness. Try to get rid of a lot of your unnecessary possessions. Only keep what you really need to stay alive. Then it will be easy for you to leave home eventually and go live in a monastery.
Yes.
Then you don't have to worry about working. You have all the time to do meditation practice.
Yes. Tranquility life.
Yeah. Ubeka life.
Ubeka life.
Ubeka.
Yes.
Upeka.
Yes.
You are homeless right now, more or less, right? You live alone now?
Yes, totally.
Totally alone. But not lonely. You are
on
alone.
Sunday, I goes to give a pet to a place, né? And other people tells to me, "You are alone. You are alone."
You say I'm alone, not lonely, alone but not lonely.
For other peoples, I am a very strange. Yes, not
lonely, not lonely. Alone but not lonely.
Not lonely. Is wisdom, né? But is a good life to have to do, né? But
yes, being alone will give you peace and
yes.
happiness. Being around people can give you problem. Problem come from people, not from anything.
Yes.
When there's no people, there will be no problem.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, Bante.
Right. Okay, looks like that's about all for now. All the people who are in and have a chance to ask questions. So I don't know what should I go? Maybe Facebook
Yes.
first.
Five questions from Facebook.
Okay.
There are 4 questions from Facebook,ท่านอาจารย์ 2 questions from Punnami. And first question is, Pante, how to avoid rebirth and do not go into samsara? Thank you.
You have to eliminate your cravings, your desire for sensual pleasures, for being and not for being. These are the 3 causes that send the mind towards samsara, toward rebirth in the 3 realms of existence. The way to eliminate your cravings, your desire, is the practice of dana, sila, and bhavana, charity, morality, and meditation.
And second question, if people do not have rebirth, the population will decrease. So how is the world going to survive? No animals and humans. Please kindly advise. Thank you.
But I don't want to discuss the theoretical question. Just getting people to keep the 5 precepts is hard enough already. Not to mention about going into homelessness and do meditation practice. So your question is really irrelevant. It never happened and it will never happen. Only a very few selected mind that will be able to reach Nibbana. The rest will still be just, recycling their rebirth, keep coming back and reborn again and again.
Next question from Gui Ing Hong. Dear Venerable Sir, is Dukkha in 4 Noble Truths different or same as Dukkha in the 3 universal characteristics? Thank you.
The same thing.
And last question from right now is from Aini Lam. Hi, Pra Ajahn. Do all the devas still need to be reborn as human before their final enlightenment as a non-returner? Thank you.
It depends what if they can meet the Buddha when they were they were like the Buddha's mother. They could become enlightened without having to return to reborn as human. If they can continue on with their practice. Once they have the Four Noble Truths, then they could keep on practicing regardless of the realm of existence they exist on. So they might not have to return to reborn as human. They might be able to advance to a higher level if they already understood the teaching of the Buddha, the Four Noble Truths.
That's all, ท่านอาจารย์
Okay. Now back to our room. We have a newcomer just coming in, Mandy Smith. Mandy, you wanna say something? We're just waiting for someone to say something. So it's your turn, Mandy. Can you hear me?
So I'm just on the road right now with my mom.
Okay.
I wanted to join and listen to the questions. I hope you're well, and thank you always for your advice.
Okay, thank you. Professor, you want to say something?
Yes, Tanajan, maybe just an observation. I didn't make the last couple of meetings because now that all the pandemic restrictions have been released, things are becoming busier. And I have to take part in meetings. And a couple of weeks ago, I had to make a trip abroad, which was a bit of a challenge. First time making a trip for over 2 years. I almost got overwhelmed by the sights and sounds and so on. So I could appreciate the peace and quiet that we had for a couple of years, and also the peace and quiet that we can get when we go inside and have a quiet time ourselves. So that's what's happening here.
Yes, the pandemic turned out to be a blessing in disguise for those who like to meditate, who like to practice Dhamma.
Yeah, I can see the benefit, and it becomes harder to reintegrate into society. And like Alfredo said, people, I think, look at people like us as being a bit weird because we don't socialize.
We're not like them. We're not like them, so they think we are weird. If anybody doesn't look like you or do things like you do, then you are weird.
Yeah.
And we can look at them the same way too. They are weird also, from a point of view.
Yeah. I mean, I think I feel more normal myself, but other people think I'm becoming more strange, and that's okay. Yeah. I can live with that. That's all right.
Good.
And,
how's your practice going along? Okay.
Well, at the moment, I'm trying to reorganize my work so I have more time. I just recently decided to give up. At the moment, I'm head of a research institute, so I decided to step back from that and have more time for just teaching and less hassle with administration and so on. And again, people think I'm weird for doing this, but I'm very determined to start reducing things step by step.
Yeah, people don't realize that contentment comes from having less and less. The less you have, the more contentment you have.
So one of the consequences is I have to move within the same university to a different location. So the next couple of months will be some additional activity, but after that it should be much calmer. So I'm making these changes now.
Yeah, you should look at the time you have left. There ain't much time now. Every day is just slipping away, less time for your practice.
Yeah.
So you should try to do as much practice as possible. Don't waste time. No time to waste.
Yeah, so I think during the last 2 years with more time alone, I really could begin to see some benefits and results. And coming out of the pandemic, I can see the danger of it going the other way. So I want to make these changes.
Yeah. Good.
Thank you, Tanajan.
Okay. All right. We have a newcomer, Gang Game So first. Okay, from Penang.
Ajaan, yeah, good evening.
No question from you tonight.
Yeah, no questions. Recently, there's few devotee parents pass away, sudden pass away. So it keep remind me, on impermanence. Yeah.
Yes. Remind ourselves that we're on the list. We're on the short list now. We might be picked any day.
Yeah, it's a sudden dates, they cannot breathe. So yeah, it's a trigger point for our reflection. Yeah.
No one can escape death. So it's better to accept it and then try to use this knowledge to push you toward more practices. Okay?
Yeah.
Because we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. All right, next, Sarah Ang from Singapore.
Hello, Ajaan. I'm actually preparing to travel to Thailand in 2 weeks. I think I come back for about a month now, but I honestly don't practice much because I just don't feel that I have time. So I want to force myself and put myself in the situation where I can only do practice and do nothing else. Like at least more practice than I can. So I have this concern about when I'm alone, I'm not satisfied. When I go out to find communities, I also like kind of think like, oh no, they work so hard. They have to spend so much time working, and in the end, it's also not much time for practice. So there's a lot of wanting, a lot of expectation, I think, in my mind.
Yes, you need to go to a practice monastery where they don't do anything much except meditation practice. They only do what is really just the essential thing like food and things like that, the 4 requisites of life. Other than that, they spend more time on the practice.
Thank you, Ajaan.
Okay. Next, Patsy. Where are you from, Patsy? This is your first time joining?
Hello, Ajaan.
Can you speak a bit louder or come closer to the microphone?
Thank you for making this available to everybody. I'm from Singapore.
Okay, you have any question?
Yes, I'm learning the Anapanasati meditation in the 4th Tetra. We have words like contemplating impermanence, fading away, cessation. When these words arise in my mind, I feel happy, but that is about it. So I would like to know how I can improve.
Do more meditation. And first, don't do any contemplation yet. Try to do just concentration. Just focus your mind to still your mind. Then you will have good feeling or happiness from this practice. And then later on, when you have passed this level, then you can go on to contemplation. But when you meditate, just do concentration. Stop thinking. Don't try to think about anything. Okay. And the more you do, the more happiness you get from this practice. All right?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Evie from Indonesia.
Halo, Namo Buddhaya Ajahn.
Go ahead, can hear you, okay?
Oh, okay, Ajahn. Ajahn, I want to ask, is it in Kamathana, how to meditate with Buddha image? It is like seeing the image of the Buddha, then closing the eyes and keeping the Buddha in my mind. I tried it earlier, and this is quite effective to prevent the mind from wandering. But
Yes.
does this method exist in Buddhism?
Yes, yeah, it is. Basically, it's just recollecting the Buddha, about the Buddha, think of the Buddha. So you can think of him in many different ways. You can recite his name, Bhutto, Bhutto. You can recite his quality, like chant Iti Piso, Bhagava. Or you can visualize the image of the Buddha in your mind.
Yeah, earlier I see the Rupang and close my eyes and try to keep the Buddha image in the mind and must, how to say,
Because you need strong concentration to be able to create the image and
yeah, keep it
maintain
upward.
it in your mind.
Maintain, yes.
Then you cannot go think about other things.
Yeah. This is the right way, correct way also, Ajahn.
Well, if it makes your mind calm and still, then it's the right way for you.
Yeah, so strike. I feel so so strong, but need the strong mindfulness to keep the image Buddha in mind, and the mind doesn't wandering away.
Then it's good for you. It's good for you.
Yeah.
We should try to do it more and more.
Oh, okay, Ajahn. Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay, you're welcome. Who else hasn't yet? Martina. Where are you from, Martina?
Indonesia.
Indonesia. Yes, any question from you?
No, I just want to say good evening.
Okay. Then go to Jenny. Jenny, where are you from?
Good evening, Tanajan. I'm from Penang, Malaysia.
Yes, any question from you?
Yeah, I feel that I'm doing my self-meditation at home. It doesn't help much. Yeah, I follow very seriously the Dharma, but there are things that actually I feel like I have to go for a retreat, like in the monastery, at least for a couple of days.
Yes, it means your mind is not strong enough to push yourself. So you need a community to help you push you into practice. So it depends on what you have to do, or what you need to do. If you cannot practice on your own, then you have to go and join other people. But if you can practice on your own, then you don't need to go
to get more clearer in the mind and to sharpen the mind.
Yes, if you can go where there's a teacher, then the teacher will help sharpen your mind.
Within the 10 days retreat or 3 days can do as well?
Well, the more the better. That way. Maybe you should do 3-month retreat.
straight away.
All the time. You know.
But I still have work.
You can give up work. Work is not important more than your meditation practice.
Really? Okay. That's miracle.
What do you get from working? Yeah. You get stuff that you don't need. Yeah. And some you need, but most of them you don't need. What you need is just the 4 requisites of life: food, clothing, shelter, and medicine. This you can get in the monastery also. You go and live in the monastery. Then you will have more time for your practice. But if you work, then you will have very little time for your practice.
Can get this balance, practice as well as work, go together?
Well, at the start, yes, but eventually it should be more practice than work. Work will be just a minimum and do more practice.
Yeah, I just need to have a clearer mind now than well, it's like, yeah, I need to just get my mind more clearer for now.
And how do you do? How are you gonna do that? It doesn't become clear by itself. You need mindfulness, practice of mindfulness to calm your mind. When your mind calms down, and then it becomes clear. You'll understand where the true happiness is. You know.
Yeah.
True happiness is in your mind, inside yourself, not outside, not on what you get or what you have. These things are dukkha, not happiness, because they are anicca, they are temporary. One day, sooner or later, you will have to lose them. Then when you lose them, then you will have dukkha, or sadness.
Okay. Thank you, Ajaan.
All right. Looks like nobody else.
We have another question from Facebook also.
Okay.
There are three more questions, Ajaan. And the first question from the Morning Star. Thank you very much for your teaching. Why it is Sila Samadhi Panna, but not Sati Samadhi Panna? Thank you.
Well, sati and samadhi goes together. Yeah, so you either mention sati or you mention samadhi. They are a pair of cause and effect. Sati is the cause and samadhi is the effect. So sometimes you can mention one or the other without having to mention both of them. But in some other places, the Buddha mentioned them both, like in the five powers. The Buddha said you need to develop mindfulness, develop samadhi, and develop panya. So basically, you need to have sila. Then you need to develop mindfulness or samadhi before you can develop wisdom.
Next question from Sen Yang. May I ask whether the 6 senses are still working in the 4th jhana? For example, can a meditator still hear and perceive sounds in the 4th jhana? Thank you.
I think you should experience it yourself better rather than having someone to explain it to you. Because regardless of how they explain to you, you probably doesn't make any difference to you. So it's better for you to experience it yourself by keep developing mindfulness.
Next question from Tae In Hua. For samatha meditation, is it safe to meditate or focus on light kasina without a teacher? Thank you.
Well, you can be your own teacher if you know how to do it. You know. If you don't know, then you need a teacher to guide you. But if you already know how to do it, then you don't need a teacher. So it depends on whether you really know it or not.
And last question from the Morning Star. Could you please explain how can contemplation leads to absorption concentration while mental objects arise, such as pain? Is such technique suitable only for advanced meditator who is skillful, or is it also good for the beginner? Thank you.
Well, it doesn't matter whether you're beginner or advanced. If you know how to contemplate on the three characteristics of wisdom, you can use it to calm your mind also. So it's a matter of whether you know how to use it or not. Doesn't mean whether you're beginner or advanced, because we don't know which stage of practice we are in, right? Because in our previous life, we might have we have developed a lot, or we have developed not much. So it just look at the reality of it. If you can do it, do it. If you cannot do it, then it means you're not able yet. If you cannot use wisdom, then you have to use mindfulness to calm your mind down. These are the two principal actors that will calm your mind.
And Ajahn, one more new question from Sulan Ui. Dear Ajahn, Sadhu for your compassion guiding us every week. I have a question. What is Buddha teachings on eating meat, and what is the right view to hold when we are eating meat? Sadhu.
Eating meat, if the meat that you eat, you bought it from the market. The meat that's already dead. You cannot eat meat by killing the animal for the meat. But if someone already killed it and they sell it to you, you can buy that and then cook it for food. So you cannot kill. You can eat meat, but you cannot kill animal to get the meat to eat. So is this clear enough? Yeah, and you cannot tell people to kill it for you either. Like you cannot go to the shop and say, "I need 3 chicken tomorrow." Then the vendor would have to kill 3 chicken for you. But if you just go to the shop and see if there's a dead chicken, and say, "How much is this?" Then this is okay, because you're not the one who will tell the person to kill it for you. He killed it already for you without your advice. So don't advise people to kill for you or do the killing yourself. Is that it? Okay, is that all? Anybody would like to comment about this? Okay, Evie.
Ajahn, regarding maintaining the image of the Buddha in the mind, after a while I feel tired. The mind is tired and cannot imagine the Buddha anymore. So I will switch to the breathing, is anapanasati.
Yes,
And
you can do that. You can do that.
And so forth, and so forth. I do so forth. And when after I take a rest and I became come back again to the imagine the Buddha image again. Is this correct way, Ajahn?
It means that your mindfulness is not strong enough to carry you all the way yet.
And how to meditate in this way said to be successful? Is this is the image cannot be lost and is always intact, then it can say to be successful?
When you meditate, you need to have one object, if at all possible. If you switch, you might it's like switching horses when in a race, so you might lose time. So when you meditate, try not to switch if you can. Try to stick to one.
Ajahn. Cannot imagine again.
It means your mindfulness is not strong enough. That's all. So you have to imagine before you sit. Try to imagine the Buddha image as much as possible before you come to sit.
So cannot take a rest. Because I consider Anapanasati is the rest way, Ajahn.
Okay, just use whatever method it is. Then the goal is to calm your mind. Okay.
Maybe I will practice until I don't have to take a rest again, Ajahn.
Yeah.
Until the image always intact. All right, Ajahn.
Yeah. If you keep doing it more and more, then it will stay more.
Okay, Ajahn. Thank you.
All right. Philip, you raise your hand. Go ahead.
Ajahn, I have a question with regards to the practice. As of late, I'm not too sure. It's because we are exiting the pandemic and where we don't have maybe the calmness anymore, or maybe it's because I have been practicing longer and more often. After I finish meditation, not immediately after, but when I'm not in full meditation, I notice there is actually a subtle feeling that has actually arisen of unsatisfactory, of incompleteness. It's not that I have in my normal daily life, I've not completed anything. I've done everything that I have done, but there is this lingering feeling of not completing something. It could be maybe I've noticed this feeling as of late, or maybe the mindfulness is a bit more sharper. But is this common among many?
Yes, nothing in this world can make you feel complete. Only the result you get from meditation, that will make you feel complete.
Yes.
Because everything in this earth, on this world, is anicca. They are temporary. They give you brief satisfaction, but not total or complete permanent satisfaction like you get from the practice of meditation.
Yes, correct, Ajahn. Yes, the feeling is that I want to get out of this incompleteness and go back into meditation again. Because maybe there are more things, more noise or whatever it is, but there is a sense of incompleteness that I cannot explain. That unfinished business. That is the best I can say. So,
and the reason that it caused you to have a feeling of incompleteness is because of your cravings. As long when you crave for something, it means you're not complete. You need something more to fill it. And regardless how much you feel it, it's still not complete because you still have more craving coming after. So, but once you can get rid of all your craving, then you feel complete. You feel full contentment. So the culprit here is the three cravings.
Okay. So should I drill deeper during not formal meditation practice why this incompleteness is there, or
just remind yourself that the cravings are the cause of your dissatisfaction, really. And the way to have satisfaction is to get rid of all your cravings. And you need meditation and mindfulness and wisdom to be able to do this.
Okay, understand.
Okay. Anybody else would like to ask more questions? You're welcome.
Yeah, screen and check.
Screen check just came in, huh?
Yes.
But you're not coming in today. What happened? It got engaged somewhere?
Yeah.
I forgot.
No. Just had to get ready to see the dentist.
Early appointment for her.
I see. It's early morning for you now. You have to go to see the dentist.
Ajahn, what is the difference between neutral feeling and equanimity?
Same thing. Well, no, I'm sorry. Equanimity means your mind has no emotional reaction to anything. Why neutral feeling is something between good and bad. Neither good nor bad feeling.
They're quite the same, eh? Like they're quite not really. Like
They sound the same, but they're two separate things.
Oh.
Equanimity is the condition of your mind, the reaction of your mind toward things. With equanimity, you don't react with emotion. You don't react with love, hate, fear, or fear. But feelings, they have three types of feelings: good, bad, and in between. Neither good nor bad feeling. Some people use this neutral feeling as equanimity, which is the wrong term for it.
Yeah.
Equanimity means your mind is neutral, not the feeling, it's the mind. Neutral in the sense of reacting to things. Neutral in emotion. No love, hate, fear, or delusion. This is what you get when you meditate. But feelings, you get them, these three feelings, you get them whether you meditate or you don't meditate. When you're hungry, you get bad feeling. When you eat, when you're full, you got good feeling. And when you are not hungry or full, then you get the neutral feeling. Like right now, are you hungry or not? Are you full or not? Are you in between the two? I'm hungry right now. It's evening for me, and I only had one meal a day. But I'm used to it, so I let the body show hunger without reacting to it. But realizing it, that it shows hunger.
So, since we are talking about feeling, Tatajan, when our mind catch on an object, it will create either neutral feelings or bad feelings or good feelings.
It depends on how you interpret that object. If the object you interpret to be your liking, then it gives you good feeling. Right? The same object, if someone else could have bad feeling toward that object, if that person interpret that object as to be not good for him or her, then he or she get bad feeling from that object, that same object. So object is really something subjective. Depends on the person who perceives them.
So when you're talking about the perceiving, like that means sanya is the one that is causing view.
Sanya is the one that tells you whether this is good or bad. You see a person, then you might have memory about this person. In the past, this person has been good to you, nice to you. Then your sanya will say, "Oh, this is a good object." So you get good feeling when you see this object. And likewise with the other object, if you have bad experience with that object, then sanya will say, "Oh, this is bad object." So you get that feeling when you come into contact with this object.
And then when we learn Dharma, we are going to change sanya. We are going to change our view.
In one way, yes, you have to change it up. That there, if you look at everything as element, then you can then see that there is no good or bad or neutral in them. They're just elements.
Okay.
In order to be able to see them as elements, you have to have upekkha first from your meditation practice.
Don't Ajahn, if you have upeka, does that mean that you always most of the time you have neutral feeling on the
Yes, yes, most of the time. No, it depends on how much upeka you can maintain after you come out of samadhi.
Oh.
If you have you only spend less time in samadhi, then you have less upeka to accompany you when you come out. But if you spend more time in samadhi, then you will have more upeka when you come out. Then you can use wisdom to teach your mind to maintain this ubeka, because the thing that will cause the ubeka to dissipate is your craving, your greed, hate, and delusion. So you need the wisdom to prevent this greed, hate, and delusion from working.
Ajahn, I have another question.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, because of ignorance, like we love our body like so much. Like for example, then we indulge in like our sensual pleasure, like, but at the same time, like the sensual pleasure will kind of like destroy our body. For example, like if overeating or eat like certain junk food, like
that's one cause of that, but not all. The body, even if how well you look after it, it will still die, because that's the nature of the body.
And then my question is like, well, this like craving desire actually is hurting us, like
it hurts your mind. It breaks, it eliminate or diminish your ubeka. Your peace and contentment. Ubeka is peace and contentment. As soon as you have cravings, then your peace and contentment will be destroyed, be eliminated. So you need wisdom to protect your ubeka. Because when you see something you pray for, then wisdom will tell you that what you pray for is something bad for you. Because it is anicca, it's dukkha. Because it's anicca, it will make you have dukkha when it changes or when it disappears. So this will then stop you from craving for things. When you stop craving for things, then when there are no cravings, then your mind will then have ubeka again. Ubeka and cravings are the two opposite ends of the spectrum. If you have one, you don't have the other. If you have the other, you don't have That's like day and night. If you have cravings, you have no ubeka. If you have ubeka, you have no craving. But sometimes your cravings, even though when you have ubeka, but when your mind starts to come into objects that you used to have craving for, then your craving can arise. Then you want to use wisdom, anicca, dukkha, anatta, to teach your mind that this object is dukkha for you. Don't go after it.
But in order for it to do that, we have to see that
all the time. As soon as you see an object, you know it's dukkha right away. Dukkha because it's impermanent. Dukkha is because you cannot control it. It's anatta. It's a work of nature. It rises and ceases. It changes. Not by yourself, not under your command. It's the nature to change. That's why we call anatta. So try to get to ubeka first before you worry about wisdom. First, you need to have ubeka in order to use wisdom to protect your ubeka.
Okay.
Or you can use wisdom if you like, and tell yourself that everything is dukkha for you. So give up everything and go live as a monk. Then you will have all ubeka or wisdom.
Yeah.
But you don't see them as ubeka. You don't see them as dukkha, right?
Yeah.
You still see them as sukha. Pleasant, nice to have them, right? Nice to have money, nice to have big houses, nice to have big cars, expensive clothing, and so forth. You don't see them as dukkha, you see them as happiness. Because you don't see the change in them. Sooner or later, one day, when you lose them, then you'll see how dukkha comes about. Okay.
Thank you, Tanajan.
What time is your appointment with the dentist?
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. So it's almost time.
No, it's close by.
You are about 7 o'clock right now, right?
Yeah. I really like the teaching about when somebody asks you, I think it was 3 weeks ago, like where to place the Buddha image or the Buddha statue, and you said like place it in your heart, and that teaching really helps me because I keep when I lose mindfulness, I keep telling, I don't say put the Buddha in your heart, and I keep putting the Buddha in my heart. Like keep saying Buddha and put the Buddha in my heart. It's very meaningful for me, that teaching, and it's helpful.
Yes, that's the goal of our practice, is to have the Buddha Dhamma Sangha inside our heart and mind.
Yeah,
that's when you when you achieve the first level of enlightenment, the Sotapanna, have achieved establishing the Buddha Dhamma and Sangha inside the heart. Then it uses the Buddha Dhamma Sangha to continue on the fight with the defilement, the remaining defilement, until all the defilement are completely destroyed. So once you become a Sotapanna, you don't need Buddhism to guide you anymore, because you have Buddhism inside your heart to guide you wherever you are, whichever realm of existence you might happen to be. You don't need Buddhism. You don't need the Buddha Dhamma Sangha, the outside Buddha Dhamma Sangha to guide you, because you have the inside Buddha Dhamma Sangha, the real Buddha Dhamma Sangha inside your heart. That's why Sotapanna has no doubt about the Buddha Dhamma and Sangha, because a Sotapanna has the Buddha Dhamma and Sangha within himself or herself. So what is to doubt about something that you already have? You can feel, you can touch. So yes, try to open the ego. See, that's the quality of the Dhamma teaching. The Buddha say, open the ego. Draw the teaching inward into your heart. Draw mindfulness, draw wisdom, draw sila, draw charity into your heart.
Inwards, that's what it means. Draw inward.
Yeah, draw inside your heart. By practicing, the more you do, then the more it will stay inside your heart. So the more charity you do, the more precept you keep, the more meditation you do, then this Dhamma will remain inside your heart. But when you don't do it, then you will lose them eventually. You have to keep maintaining and increasing the level of practice. until you're able to keep the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha inside your heart permanently. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, Tanajan.
Right. I hope you have successful meeting with your dentist.
Just now you said it may be worse or it may be better or no change.
That's right. You never
Your
know.
feet.
You never know what you're gonna get. But expect the worst and hope for the best.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tanajan.
Okay. Anybody else?
Yes, we have Manami Hilda.
Okay, from Japan.
Japan.
Am I right? Are you from Japan, Nanami?
Yes, I live in Canada now.
Okay, in Canada.
Ajaan.
Which part? West or east coast?
East.
East. Toronto.
Yes. No, I live east of Toronto, eastern than Toronto.
Okay. Can I help you? Any questions?
Yes, Ajaan, I have a question. So, if like, why some people have cannot learn so much from Buddhism, and if somebody is breaking promises to be a better person by practicing Dharma, why they cannot do it?
That's because it depends on the amount of delusion they have in their minds. The more delusion, then the harder for them to approach Buddhism. The less delusion they have, then the easier for them to approach Buddhism. So we have different level of delusion in all of us. Our level of delusion is different. Some more, some less. The less we have of delusion, then the easier for us to get to Buddhism. The more delusion we have, then the harder for us to get to Buddhism. Get into Buddhism. Because delusion will pull you towards sensual pleasure, not spiritual pleasure. The more delusion, then the more you will go after the money, wealth, and all the sensual pleasure. So you just have to understand that the Buddha divided people into 4 different types of lotuses. He means the different level of delusion in these 4 types of lotuses. Those who have the least easy to become enlightened. They listen to the Dhamma talk once and they could become enlightened right away. And those who have complete delusion, then they're hopeless. The Buddha said they are not the type to be taught the Dhamma with them. And these 4 types of lotus doesn't mean that they are in different social level. Social level can contain all the 4 types of delusion type of people. So in the same family, your brothers and sisters might have different level of delusion. So they might not see things the same way as you do. So I would not worry about them. Just worry about yourself. Try to eliminate as much delusion as possible by putting faith in the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. And then try to study as much and practice as much as possible. Then your delusion will gradually be eliminated from your heart.
Okay, thank you, Ajaan.
Anybody else?
We have Jenny Lim.
Okay, Jenny again.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Tanajan, I just want to ask about the monastery that between the Goenga one and the monastery in the Buddhist center. I can go to anyone or?
Well, each monastery have their distinct characteristics. So I think you have to go and find out for yourself which one works for you.
Okay. Any guidance other than the 3 characteristic that I to find out?
Find out about the 3 characteristics.
Other than the 3 characteristic, any other?
Well, you need to find out how to be able to keep the precept, how to be charitable, and how to meditate.
Okay. In the Dharma.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Ajahn.
All right.
Ajahn, we have some questions from Facebook also.
Please go ahead.
Yes.
There are 11 questions from Facebook, and the first question from the Morning Star. Could you please elaborate the importance of restaining 6 senses door? For example, restaining eyes, how to practically do it? Thank you.
The best way to restrain your 6 senses is to go to live in a remote place, like in the forest. Then there are no sensual objects to tempt you that way. But if you stay in the city, that's where all the sensual objects are there. So it will be very hard to restrain your sensual organs from being attached to being attracted toward them. That's why the Buddha recommends people to go live in the forest. Monks to go live in the forest. And then they can then automatically restrain their sensual organs.
Next question from Aun. Dear Ajahn, releasing birds or other animals is a merit or sin? Sadhu.
It's good karma because you're freeing somebody, It's like if you are put in a cage and somebody put you out of the cage and you feel happy. When you're in the cage, you're not happy. So you're doing good merits.
Next question from Brian. Pante, one who do the evening chanting first, then do meditation, comparing to one who straight away do meditation, just to know, does it make any difference? Thank you.
Well, the goal is to meditate. But for some people, they cannot meditate first. So they need to do chanting first to calm their mind to a level that they can then meditate.
Next question from Polian Soon. How to control wrong will and wrong attitude dealing with reality? Thank you.
You have to be close to the Dharma teaching of the Buddha. You have to constantly studying the teaching of the Buddha. Constantly thinking of the 3 characteristics of existence.
Next question from Xiao Chang. Ajahn, if we make something wrong, let's say stealing, but at last we are forgiven by the owner, are we still creating bad karma even forgiven? Thank you.
Yes, karma that doesn't forgive you. Unfortunately, karma don't forget whatever you do, either good or bad. Karma will always remember and always give you the consequence of your action, regardless of whether you are forgiven by the people you did wrong to.
Next question from Adeline Chin. Good evening, Ajahn. Can a person with ubekha can still have anger? Thank you.
If it's permanent ubekha, then no anger. But if it's temporary ubekha, when the ubekha disappears, then anger can arise.
Next question from the Morning Star. I'm trying to switch my practice to the way you are teaching, but it's not easy at all. My meditation experience caused doubt because it's totally different method. I used to be aware of mental phenomena as it is why I'm do sitting meditation. I am familiar with being mindful of the pain with bare attention. Mine was calm and peaceful, even though there was overwhelming pain. Finally, pain disappeared by itself without my desire to get rid of it. Can I still use this technique while pain arises during sitting session and observing breathing and falling of abdomen as primary object? Thank you.
Yes, you can use any method you like, as long as you get the result that you want, is to have calm in your mind. So whichever method that will give you calm, that's okay, that's good.
Next question from Eli Hassan. Tanajan, is teaching our mind means talk to own self, remind the mind about the three characteristics, anicca, dukkha, and anatta of everything. May we do this during meditation or after? Thank you.
When you meditate, you don't talk to yourself. You stop talking to yourself. It's only after you come out of meditation when you start teaching yourself.
Next question from Paul Liang Soon. Can the self-realization happen to lay person? Thank you.
If you have the complete Noble Eightfold Path, then yes, you can have self-realization. You need the Noble Eightfold Path to be able to do this.
Next question from Xiao Chang. Ajahn, nowadays I do my meditation with and without meditation mat. When without using mat, foot will be very painful. I use anicca, dukkha, anatta to contemplate the painful feeling, but still cannot sit longer. When using meditation mat, I can sit longer and my mind can be very calm. My question is, Ajahn previously advised not to use anything when meditation, but my current practice, I can be very calm using meditation mat. Should I continue to use? Thank you.
It depends on whether you want to deal with painful feeling or not. If you want to deal with painful feeling, then you have to face the painful feeling. But if you want to avoid the painful feeling, then you will not be able to deal with the painful feeling when it arises. So it depends on you, what you want. If you want to avoid, then you sit on a cushion. If you don't want to avoid painful feeling, then you don't sit on a cushion. And when the painful feeling arises, you use mindfulness or wisdom to deal with it. If you cannot use wisdom, then you use mindfulness, such as reciting a mantra.
And last two questions from Pauline Soon. The first question is, contemplation of processing of death, is the teaching of the Buddha? Thank you.
Contemplation of death, yes, is one of the teaching of the Buddha.
And last question is, morning and evening chanting is a part of teaching by the Buddha. Thank you.
I'm not sure whether they had morning and evening chanting during the Buddha's time, but they use meditation. If you consider morning and evening chanting as a form of meditation, then yes. See, meditation has many different forms. So I'm not sure whether in the time of the Buddha they have this or not.
That's all, Thanachan.
Okay. Because if you read in the four foundation of mindfulness, the Buddha said, go sit in the forest and meditate. Not go into a shrine and meditate together. The Buddha taught you to go separately. And during the Buddha's time, there wasn't any shrine built yet. So they used the forest as a shrine. Okay, anybody else?
Yes, we have Sulan.
Sulan just came in, huh? Okay, Sulan.
Yeah. Sadhu Ajahn, nice to see you.
Speak louder, please.
Yeah, Sadhu Ajahn, nice to see you again.
Okay, nice to see you too.
Yeah. So I just now I asked a question about the eating of meat. Yeah, that I have heard your guidance on that also.
Okay,
So,
was it clear enough to you?
Yeah, it is clear. Just that first I realized that version when I see meat, meat.
You can eat meat, but you cannot kill for meat.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know why I got this aversion. It's like in a way, I'm like following my like and dislike.
See, eating meat is not a bad karma, but killing meat is a bad karma. Killing animal for their meat is a bad karma, but eating meat is not a bad karma. If you have nothing to do with the killing of the meat of the animal. Some people say that you're making good karma by being a vegetarian, for instance. Well, when you eat vegetable, you're not killing anybody, can't killing any animal. So you're not doing any bad karma. But when you eat meat that you did not kill, you're also not making any bad karma either. So it doesn't matter what you eat, really. Eating vegetarian food or meat is the same. You're not doing any bad karma, both of you. Both the vegetarian and meat eater.
Then like how do I deal with this aversion that comes up?
Well, if it's not hurting you, then you just follow your aversion.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Ajahn. Yeah, I have another question on like what are your thoughts about like sleepwalking or like sleep talking?
No mindfulness when you
Or even when at like sleepwalking and sleep talking is no mindfulness.
No mindfulness and your mind is still active. You still keep thinking, and then this thinking tells the mind to do and to say things in the sleep. If you practice more mindfulness and meditation, then when you go to sleep, then your thought will not be working. So you sleep sound, and no sleepwalking, no sleep talking. It's when you're not sound asleep, that's when you have sleep talking, sleepwalking.
And like but then after we wake up, we don't have any recollection that we sleep talk or like we sleepwalk. So
that's because you didn't have any mindfulness when it happens.
Okay. So even if we don't have mindfulness, then we may act in an unconscious way too.
Like when you get drunk, you don't have mindfulness. And when you wake up the next morning, you forgot what you did. You didn't know what you did when you were drunk. Right?
Oh, okay.
So keep practicing mindfulness. Keep practicing mindfulness, and you have better sleep.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Ajahn.
All right. Anybody else would like to comment or ask any more questions? Oh,
Yes.
really? Okay, really.
Yes, Tanajan, I just want to ask in relation with eating meat. What about if we order food containing meat in advance, like maybe we have an event and then we order food, so the caterer have to, like order the meat in advance. So is it considered as killing as well?
Yes, you're having part in the killing because you tell them to go kill for you.
I see. Okay, so that means if let's say we have an event and we have to order
Or you can instruct them to go buy meat in the market that's already been killed.
Okay, I see. So we have to make sure that they don't order like.
Yeah, or the vendor to go kill for you.
I see. Okay.
Just to go buy whatever the vendor has available for you.
Okay, I see. Okay, thank you.
Because you are initiating the killing, even though you're not the one who does the killing. It's considered bad karma in initiating and also doing the killing itself. Both are considered bad karma.
I see. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Tanajan.
Well, looks like nobody else have any question to ask for tonight, huh? Shall I call this meeting to a close? Okay, just check. You got something to say?
Sorry, Ajahn, like is there a level to the bad karma? Like
Yes, the bad karma has different intensity.
intensity.
The worst is the killing of your father, your mother, killing an arahant, and causing the Sangha to break up, and hurting the Buddha, just harming the Buddha, not just kill him, but just, causing him to draw blood, for instance. This is considered to be the worst karma.
Worst.
And you go to the deepest hell for this karma. It's like the law, you steal, it's less than killing, right? The punishment is less when you steal something and when you kill something. Killing is considered more painful, more harmful than stealing.
But Ajahn, let's say somebody kill, like they just kill for their living, they kill and they like it's like an automatic thing, like not it's like their job. And but the other person is like torturing and have a lot of anger and try to kill the people. Like
Yeah,
it's
there's
different.
different consequences.
Different. Oh, okay.
If you kill for survival, you become an animal when you die. Because animals kill for survival. But if you kill out of hatred or anger, then you go to hell. Okay.
Ajahn, like the mind is full of anger when it goes to hell, or?
Yes, hell is the place where all the angry people go to. Angry people who committed bad karma go to.
Okay. Then they fight each other, like in the hell?
No, it's just anguish. It's fire burning inside the heart, the mind. It's not a place where you go and congregate in hell, It's just a state of mind. State of the mind.
So you keep the mind keep like anguish, like anger.
Yeah, anger. When you're angry at someone, how do you feel like?
Yeah.
When you hate someone, you're angry at someone. You feel hot. You feel.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
That's why they say burn in
Burning.
hell. Burn.
Yeah.
It's burning.
The fire of anger that burns your mind or your heart.
Oh. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
No congregation.
And if you did bad karma out of greed, then you become a hungry ghost. You're constantly hungry, always hungry, because no matter how much you get, you don't feel full. You feel you want more and more.
Oh, the feeling
that's another type of state of mind that you can get from by doing bad karma due to greed. If you do bad karma due to hatred, then you have this anger, creating the dukkha from anger. And then there's another one called you do bad karma out of fear. Then your mind will be constantly paranoid, always fearful of this, fearful of that, afraid of this, afraid of that. Afraid of ants, so you kill ants. Afraid of mosquitoes, so you kill mosquitoes.
Oh. So that's like fearful ghost, Ajahn? Like
Yeah, we call fearful ghost, hungry ghost, and angry ghost is hell.
Oh.
That's the three abhaya. The fourth one is animals. The abhaya has four. And due to the reason for doing the bad karma are different. If you do bad karma out of survival, then you become an animal. If you do bad karma out of greed, then you become a hungry ghost. If you do bad karma out of fear, then you become a fearful ghost. Yeah? And if you do bad karma out of hatred, then you become an angry ghost.
Oh. Tanaja, how about out of ignorance? Like doing bad karma.
Ignorance is animal, so for survival. We think it's okay to survive, right? We have to kill something for our survival. Then we call this natural. We think it's natural. It's natural human nature or living nature to protect itself, to survive. But it's still bad karma.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. When you explain
because you can survive without having to kill or do any bad karma either, right?
Yeah, true.
Oh.
It means you're more intelligent. It means you have wisdom to see that doing bad karma for survival is wrong. It's not good for yourself. It's not good for anybody, not just yourself. The people who you hurt also, it's not good for them either. So as human, you know what's right and wrong. See? To kill for survival is wrong, right? So we try to avoid killing or stealing or committing any bad karma to survive. Then if we can maintain the 5 precepts, then we can keep the mind on the human level. But as soon as we break the precepts, then we go down below the human level. And if we can keep the 5 precepts and also become and being charitable, then we are moving up higher from the human level to the deva level. And if you can keep the 8 precepts and meditate, then you go up to the Brahma level. And if you can see the 3 characteristics, then you move up higher to the Arya level, the noble disciple level. These are different levels of mind that you can attain to, status of mind, by your good or bad karma that you perform. So Buddhism teaches us to do good karma and avoid doing bad karma. By avoiding doing bad karma will prevent us not prevent the mind from going lower than the human level. And if the mind wants to go higher from the human level, then you have to do charity. Besides keeping the 5 precepts, you have to do charity. That's why the Buddha said first avoid doing bad karma. Then second, the Buddha said do good karma to elevate your mind to a higher level, from human level to a deva level. And if you want to go higher, then you have to purify your mind by meditation. So this is the teaching of all the Buddhas. They avoid doing bad karma, do only good karma, and purify the mind by the practice of meditation or bhavana.
Oh, okay. So Ajahn, that's what Buddha taught us, like to develop to the higher mind.
To the highest level, nirvana is the highest level of the mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
It makes so much sense. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Ajahn.
Okay.
All right. Looks like anybody would like to contribute some more. We still have about 15 minutes left. Okay, Evie, you raise your hand again.
Ajahn, regarding about the killing, Ajahn explained earlier. How if we fight for our lives with wild animal and the human starts to kill those animal? Does this also cause us to be born as animal?
That's right, because we act like animals.
So we must just surrender and
Not surrender, you can run away or protect yourself in a way that without having to kill them.
And does the Sotapanna know about this, Ajahn?
Oh, definitely. The Sotapanna will definitely keep the 5 precepts. We never break any precept.
And how about if the Sotapanna is not a Buddhism? Is her or him has a chance to meditate by his own self by automatically?
Yes. Sotapanna doesn't mean you have to be Buddhist. Sotapanna is a level of intelligence or wisdom.
So they can meditate by automatically, even though they are not Buddhism, right?
But usually that don't happen because they don't know how to get to become a Sotapanna unless you come across the teaching of the Buddha. So it should only happen in the Buddhist society.
Yeah, maybe the other religion not teach us to meditate. So I feel so lucky, Ajahn. And about the how is it a sin to prevent a child from becoming a monk? Because so many things happen before his son become a monk, the parents would not agree, right?
You are obstructing the path to a higher level of existence for the child by preventing him from becoming a monk.
So the parent do consider do bad karma.
Because the parents are having ignorance, they don't know what is good or bad. They only think in terms of human. They don't think in terms of being a noble disciple.
Definitely lah, Ajahn. The parents. So I must not agree, Ajahn. I have hear many cases about this.
You should anumodana when someone wants to become a monk, not try to prevent them from being a monk.
And I also see when in Talalaya, there is one monk. He disrobed before because he must take care his mother when his mother sick. And does it do bad karma or not, the mother?
No, it just slowed down his progress.
And after
His,
his mother,
after his mother died, he probably returned and become a monk and continue on his journey.
we continue again. So when we have a child who want to be a monk, so we must
Encourage, you should support and encourage him.
Yeah, I understand. But many parents not agree. I see. Not agree.
If you don't study Buddhism, then you don't understand. You probably think it's bad to become a monk because you think you're lazy, you don't want to work, so you become a monk. So you rely on other people to feed you.
Lazy people. Yeah, many people say that if you become a monk, you will be lazy.
Lazy, right? You don't have to work. You just wait people to come and offer you dana.
Yeah, and they kneel, also. Give dana and on kneel. Yeah, I understand, Ajahn.
Okay.
And how about the bhikkhuni, Ajahn? Because I know one bhikkhuni in Medan.
See, according to the Theravada tradition, the bhikkhuni tradition has ceased to exist.
Yes, she is a Theravada. She
just invented herself. She just invented herself, not according to the instruction given by the Buddha. In order to be a Theravada Buddhist bhikkhuni, you need to have two. You have to have a bhikkhuni sangha and a bhikkhu sangha to ordain you.
Because I often offering food for her, Ajahn. And this can make a merit, Ajahn.
Yes, when you offer food to anybody, regardless of whether a person is a bhikkhu or bhikkhuni or an animal, you're getting merit the same way. The merit arises from giving, from sacrificing your wealth, not from the person who received your charity.
Yeah, because I see her as the keep precept person. Bhikkhuni or not, I don't care, because I see her as the person who keep the precept.
You're supporting someone who is doing a good thing. That's what it means.
Yeah, Ajahn, that is the right way, Ajahn. Okay, Ajahn, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay, anybody else? Melinda.
That is about killing animals. Because I have a Catholic friend, she said they believe that animals meant to be eaten by human. So
that's a way of making yourself feel better, right? That you're eating. What happens if you happen to be an animal yourself? You still feel the same way?
Yeah, I know I didn't argue, but so I just understand from a point, and from my understanding of like Catholic, as long as you believe heaven, then you go to that place. So there is a belief system, and I reckon it's coming from the mind. Once you believe, then you'll be at the place. So it's a creation from the mind, but they believe there's a heaven. So I stay with this Catholic friend. So I respect because I don't kill cockroach. So, but it sort of upset her too that I released a pest. So she got some spray, but because it's a house, so I didn't accept. I just let it be. But we find ways where we have clothes, like we prevent cockroach from coming. So that's like living with people with different belief system. So yeah,
you have to understand them and then try not to interfere with their belief.
Yes. So I just wonder, like, is it something belief that, is it some form of belief in human mind and then where we form where we want to go? Is it something like that?
See, according to Buddhism, believing is only half true. You have to prove it before you can really believe it that to be true. When you believe something and if you haven't yet proved it, then what you believe could be wrong. So you first you believe, then you have to then prove it whether it is according to what you believe or not. This is Buddhism. See, Buddhism teaches you to believe in the Noble Eightfold Path to Nibbana, but it also asks you to prove it for yourself. Sanditiko.
For me, when I see the animal, they are afraid, just like me. I feel like, if someone's want to kill me, I'll be afraid, and I feel pain, and I see they feel pain. So it's just,
they're just like us. Their body is just different from us, but their mind are the same.
Yeah. So it's difficult for me to think that it's meant for us to be eaten, because I feel empathy for the animal. So yeah.
Well, the animal can think of us as the same way, right? When they kill us for food. When you see, when you run to a tiger and the tiger says, "Here comes my food now." But that's the way of thinking of by animal level. See? On human level, we think we have empathy for each other. When we don't want to be hurt, we also think that other people also don't want to be hurt. This is what makes us humans, the ability to feel empathy for other beings. If you have no empathy, then you are animals.
Also, I have Muslim friends. They say a halal meat is that. Halal means like they say prayers to the meat for the slaughter, and then it's so-called going back the realm. So okay, I just respect, because we are in different. I'm in Malaysia, Singapore.
Maybe
so
it's just a way of relieving their guilty conscience. Makes them feel better. Okay, somebody also raised your hand, right? Sulan, did you raise your hand? Okay.
Yeah, I raised my hand. Yeah, I have a
one last question. We have about 4 minutes left.
Okay. I was just wondering, like, how come there is only one teaching Buddha each time?
Because it's hard for someone to be able to grasp the Four Noble Truths by themselves. So it can only happen once in a long time that someone as smart as a Buddha who will be able to see the Four Noble Truths. But that's enough, because once you have one who knows the Four Noble Truths, you can share this with other people. Like we can share whatever we want through the internet, right?
Yeah.
You put up a song and then you share it, and maybe 100 million people watching it right away. But you have to create the song yourself first.
Yeah.
Same way. In order to make a popular song, it's not easy, right? It takes some skill. So it's the same way in order to become enlightened to the Four Noble Truths, it takes a lot of skill. So you can only have one Buddha at a time. And the time between the two Buddhas are also many wide apart also. Million times million of years before the next Buddha will come again.
They are so wide apart. Is it because they line up?
Because we are all ignorant. We are all overwhelmed by our own delusion. And we're not capable by ourselves to be able to see the Four Noble Truths. Okay? All right, I think we're about run out of time for tonight. Thank you for your perseverance in sticking together to keep this meeting going on until the end. Hope you learn something and benefit something from this perseverance. Thank you for joining. And in the meantime, please stay safe, stay mindful, and keep on practicing. And if all goes well, I'll see you again at the same time next week. Thank you and goodbye.
สาธุเจ้าค่ะ
เจ้าค่ะ
Sadhu, sadhu,
อา
sadhu.
จารย์
Thanks, Annie.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Tanajan.
Bye. Thank you, Annie.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye bye.
Good night, everyone.
Night.
Bye bye.